Hello and welcome back to Scrap Academy, and today we're doing the November scrap lift. This is the image that we're scrap lifting from and the layout, and it's sponsored this month by Hip Kit Club, so don't forget to upload your versions of the scrap lift into the folder. I'm starting here with some different papers. I can't really remember the brands of any of these papers, to be honest. There were scraps within a scrap box, but I don't think that matters. Just any paper colours of your choice. And then I'm cutting them into triangles. So starting off with a larger triangle to go at the top and a large triangle to go at the very bottom. It's much smaller, but it's the largest one of the triangles that I'm going to do. And then I'm also layering up with a couple of other colours on top of that. So here I'm just cutting some more triangles to layer on top from another paper. This is a really old paper, I think. I selected these kinds of reds and pinks and greens because they were in the photo that I'm going to use. I've mentioned before, I'm a little bit slapdash. I don't care that the triangles are not perfectly shaped and they don't fit exactly into each other. I quite like that. But if you care a bit more about that, then you can measure your triangles and make them so that they fit perfectly on top of one another. I decided to go for the triangles at the top, like that, and then the triangles at the bottom as well, and then add the mixed media in the middle. And here I have a photo of my baby bump, so yeah, and I'm just going to kind of make the layout match that photo, really. Right, what am I going to do next? Okay, so I'm still adding some different coloured papers to the bottom. Then I've used some vellum and also a piece of black card to layer up there underneath the photo. And I think I'm going to skip ahead here and I'm going to add some mixed media. I paid no attention to the rules of mixed media, really, doing this. I probably should have put some gesso down, so you definitely do that if you would like. But I decided to use a huge acrylic block, push on some distress inks, spray them with water. I put it in the pattern that I wanted it to go in, and then I just pressed it down, and so it ended up perfectly in the shape that I wanted it to be in. And it has some really kind of patchy bits and some lighter bits around the edges. You can just use a piece of plastic packaging to do it. I'll quite often use the acrylic block rather than the packaging. And then I'm adding some little splatters of the same colour. And it's a green that goes nicely with the black paper there, and also think it goes quite nicely with the photo too. So I'm just adding a few splatters onto that there, but just by watering down that distress ink. Splatter, splatter, splatter. Are we done? I think I am done. Okay, so you'll see here I've picked out a load of embellishments to use for the layout. I just picked out lots of different ones. I think the stuff that was being used in the original scrapbook layout was a selection of products by Heidi Swap, I think. And so I had a few of those from the same collection to use up, so I got those out. And then I'm just sticking my triangles on top of each other, and I'm going to skip ahead so you don't have to see that, but I just added double-sided tape behind each of them and just neatened up the tops of those triangles as well. And so there we are, all stacked up. And then I'm going to add an edging of this bobble ribbon. I love this bobble ribbon. I always buy it in the range. I've got lots of different colours of it now. And so as soon as I saw that there was bobble ribbon on the original lift, or the original layout, I thought, it's happening in my lift. So, and then I'm just going to add another strip along the other side here, and then I'm going to stick that triangle down. don't know that you needed to see all of this. Yeah, I love the texture that the little bubbles adds. And then I'm going to stick it at the top and kind of line it up with my mixed media there so it's in about the right place. And I love that. I think it looks really cute. And then I'm going to do the same, stick the layers down at the bottom. And then I'll start working out where my photo is going to go. So the layers are all stuck down at the bottom. I've got my card here. I'm just going to trim that black paper down a little bit more because I felt like there was too much edge. And then I'm going to layer the vellum on top and then wiggle the picture so it's all a bit wonky. I like a wonky look. I'm going to add a staple in the middle, so those layers, and then pop the picture on top. And I'm going to layer this up with some foam tape behind it and then stick it down on here. I'm having to cut off some of these bobbles so that they weren't stuck up behind the photo. So I think I'm using foam tape, pretty confident. Let me see, yeah, so foam tape at the back here. And that's just going to add a little bit more interest, a little bit more texture. It's a very textured layout in the original, so I felt like adding the texture was really nice. I would have loved to add some stitching, but to be honest with you, I could not be bothered to get a sewing machine out. So that was never going to happen for this layout. I think it is really lovely on layouts to add a bit of stitching, whether it be hand stitching or stitching from a sewing machine, but it always just requires that little bit more effort that I'm not always willing to put in. So I put the photo down the way up in which it was taken. So obviously it was like a top-down view on a walk. And I put this welly boot on because I was wearing welly boots on my walk. So I'm adding some foam tape along the side of the Wellington boot just to help it to stand level with the photo. And then I'm going to stick that down. And then I'm going to add some other tiny embellishments around the edges of, or kind of coming down in a lot of sort of a cascade between my two triangle clusters. Oh, make a decision and stick it down. There we go. That was too tricky for me apparently. And so I'm going to add this little stamp that says currently feeling. I think it says currently feeling or something like that. And then also these little vellum. So that's a vellum piece, and then the hearts are vellum and acrylic as well. Not acrylic, acetate, that's the word. And they are from the Heidi Swap kit in the kind of pinks and black edging. And then I'm going to add this little label and also this, what would you call that? No, I don't know, flare thingy, badge basically. And I stuck that down with a sticky dot, which I got from, where did I get them from? Oh, Poundland. Loads of them in a pack from Poundland. And then I'm cut this flower spray in half, and I'm using half at the top, half at the bottom, so I can just kind of bring the patterns down. I really love how the layout turns out. It's really cute. I like the little bit of mixed media. I love the triangles, and they really draw the eye to the photo and then down through the rest of the layout, and kind of guide your eye. I think that's really nice, of one of the really fun things about this particular layout, although you could easily adjust it and use different shapes, or maybe have them coming in from the sides rather than from the top. Here I'm going to use a stamp set. This is an Amy Tangerine stamp set. I love stamped letters, and I'm just going to write baby bump with a little exclamation mark. And I took this a few weeks ago. I am now 25 weeks pregnant. I think whenever I took this I was about 22. So yeah, I wanted to document that a little bit, and I've been kind of reluctant to do that because you get I don't know if other people get it, the nervousness about tempting fate or whatever, but yeah, this was a nice process to do. And just to jot down my feelings around it, and especially as this was kind of the time, and maybe a couple of weeks before then, when I'd started to feel it move, and now I'm, feeling it wiggling around a lot, which is so cute. So I stamped in love on there, and then I think this is pretty much the end of the layout. So here are a few close-ups for you to have a look at. I hope you enjoyed my version of the lift and that you enjoy having a go at it yourself. Don't forget to upload it into the folder for this month so that you can stand a chance of winning yourself something from Hip Kit Club, our sponsors for this month as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.